Good afternoon, Ghana. It's 12 o'clock. Time to reach for mobile water. Mobile water, unique in every way.
City 97.3. More variety.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
City News.
It's midday. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Citi Prime News. We're coming to you live from our studios at number 11, Dr. Martin Loop in Adabraka, Accra. My name is Ajuatin Kramar Domina. Coming up, possible food insecurity looms as several farmlands in Kubore in the Upper East region get submerged as Bagre Dam spillage commences.
They don't inform us early, and right now the crops too. This is the time for us to harvest them, and the water have come and spoil all the farm. It brings a lot of problems to us, especially the food that we have farmed. Something we can use to be feeding.
We'll hear from the farmers and from the National Disaster Management Organization on its efforts to prevent a full-blown disaster. Also coming up, clash between Form 2 and 3 students of Asin Insuta Agricultural SHS in the Central Region leaves 5 students hospitalized.
Said the school muhaini di adansi ese basa esi wo ho. Even the assistant headmaster administration wo hwa ayedidu akase pa na ball no ase wo ben ho na wo kohwe se de etie na ahomete.
Still in the bulletin, Electoral Commission commences voter exhibition exercise today. How is the exercise progressing on day one?
I came here in the morning around 6:40, and then only 4 people have come to check their names. And I think it's early in the morning though, so I'm expecting like 50 people to come and check.
We have updates from some polling centers, and later in the bulletin, farmers at Abrewapong in Asante Akim North outraged as large plantain farms in Joaso Forest Reserve gets destroyed by Forestry Commission officials. Stay with us for details of these and more stories coming your way in the next 30 minutes. Remember, this bulletin is live around the globe on citinewsroom.com, on YouTube and on Facebook. Find us on Citi 97.3 FM. Across the country, we're also live on a number of affiliate stations. If you're in the Upper West region, this is Tumpani Radio 88.5 in Nadoli, Jurapa 96.1 FM in Jurapa. In the Upper East region, this is Recast 92.1 FM in Bongo Namo. If you're in the Northern region, North Star Radio 92.1 in Tamale, Northeast region Nobia FM 98.1 in Nalarigu. In the Western region, we're on Beach 105.5 FM in Takrade. In the Ashanti region, find us on Focus 94.3 FM in Kumasi, Orange 107.9 FM also in Kumasi. In the Volta region, this is Stella Radio 97.1 FM in Dabala, and Holy 98.5 FM in Aplao. In the Savannah region, this is Kasha 99.5 FM in Damongo. And if you're in the Bunu region, this is Greener 95.9 FM in Sunyai. Please stay for details.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Grateful for your company this afternoon. Let's begin on matters relating to the Bagre Dam spillage, and farmlands along the Kubore River of the Upper East region have been completely submerged following the spillage of the Bagre Dam, coupled with some heavy rainfall in the area. The annual spillage of the Bagre Dam in Burkina Faso causes considerable damage to farms and properties in the northern part of the country, especially in the Upper East and Northeast regions. Now, a resident farmer in Kubori who spoke to Citi News stated that this disaster is an indication that their months of hard labor and toils have gone down the drain.
This Bagre Dam water spillage have come and spoil all our farms. They don't inform us early, and right now the crops too. This is the time for us to harvest them, and the water have come and spoil all the farm. It brings a lot of problems to us, especially the food that we have farmed, something we can use to be feeding our family. The water have come and spoil everything. There's nothing we can pick. That is the farm that we are eating, and the spillage have also come and spoil everything. So we are pleading on behalf of the government to come to our aid and see whether you can help us. If not, we have nowhere to go.
You heard Akudugu Jeremiah. He is a farmer at Kobore in the Upper East region, speaking to Citi News about the impact of the Bagre Dam spillage. Well, the National Disaster Management Organization had already called on all communities prone to the negative impact of the spillage to stay alert and cease all activities along the White Volta until the spillage is over. Upper East Regional NADMO Director Jerry Asamani has been speaking to my colleague Christopher Kevin Asima on their level of preparedness.
We have allocated the high grounds where farmers or households can move into, and these are the schools, neighbors, mosques, and churches. We have written to Ghana Education Service to permit people who will be displaced by this disaster to take up shelter in the schools. We've already done that. Another activity we have done is to advise all zonal coordinators to stay at the major crossings, to be able to advise people not to use the local crossing through the river, because the water could go into higher heights that might find it difficult to walk through or to swim through. So they are stationed there to advise would-be travelers to rather use the approved routes, that is the bridges, not to attempt going through the river. We strongly advise that people should be aware that the volumes of water have started increasing. Those who are going to be camped in the schools or the churches or mosques or even neighbors' houses, we have items that we can give: mosquito nets, blankets, mosquito coils, mats, etc. But I must emphasize that the workings of NADMO has it that during disaster occurrence, that is the rescue stage, that is not the relief providing stage. When there is a disaster, what we do is that we have to collate the numbers, the figures, the statistics, such that when we move to the relief stage, we'll be able to know the needs of the displaced people based on the category. So NADMO is getting ready for the people.
So that's the Upper East Regional NADMO Director, Jerry Asamani. Well, now let's go live on the phone lines and speak to his colleague in Northeast Region, Alhassan John Kweku. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for your time here on the news. Are we fully prepared for this year's spillage of the Bagre Dam?
Let me first of all say good afternoon to your cherished listeners, especially the people of the Northeast region and most importantly, the farmers along the White Volta. Yes, NADMO in Northeast region is fully prepared to deal with any issue that will emanate as a result of the flood. We are fully prepared. I can assure you that.
In terms of risk and vulnerability assessment to inform your disaster intervention, what have we done this year? Do we know how many farmlands are likely to be affected, how many residents are likely to be affected? And apart from telling residents to move, what other interventions have we put in place to ensure that we reduce the impact of this year's spillage?
Well, it is something that we experience annually. And so we were even anticipating that they will do the spillage. So because for the Northeast region, almost all the 2 municipalities and the 4 districts are flood-prone districts. So we've identified some safe havens across the districts to house displaced persons in case the need arises. And quite apart from that, we are also asking the farmers who are farming along the banks of the White Volta to evacuate to safe havens for their own safety. Then also the sensitization is ongoing. And NADMO, we have also collaborated with other stakeholders, and we have positioned ourselves at vantage points to give support and help to anybody who will be adversely affected by these flood waters. So we are fully prepared.
So before I let you go, we do know that the floods have already gotten to the Upper East region because we understand there was heavy rainfall. Has it gotten to the Northeast yet? And do we anticipate some farmlands also getting submerged as is happening in the other region?
As for farmlands getting submerged, yes, we anticipate that. We also anticipate that portions of our roads will be affected. We also anticipate that our water sources would be contaminated. So, like I said, we have put in place adequate measures to deal with any situation that will arise as a result of the flooding.
Thank you for speaking to us. John Kwikwal Hassan is the Northeast Regional NADMO Director. Well, now let me introduce my colleague Christopher Kevin Asima, who has lived in the Upper East region for a number of years, and he understands the topography of the area. Chris, talk to us about the Bagre Dam spillage. When it commences, where does it hit first? Which areas are most hit as a result of the spillage?
Well, so it's an annual affair, and I think NADMO should have this in their books because this is something that they deal with every year. So it's an annual program on NADMO's decks. NADMO knows that every year between August, September, the Bagre Dam will certainly have to overflow or there will be a spillage from Bagre Dam. And also, Sonabel has always been very grateful to Ghana because, look, Sonabel informs us anytime they are about to do this spillage. So NADMO is aware and then they need to put in place all that they need to do. And once that happens, it takes about 3 days. Once they begin spillage, it takes about 3 days. Ghana will certainly have to get an effect because once it overflows from Burkina, it comes straight. And the first point is the White Volta Basin. So from the Boko area where the White Volta is, around the Bagre area, it's definitely going to come through that lane. Then it goes down. Then all the districts along the lane from the Boko West area, then we go to Nabdan, then we go to Pusiga, we go to Talensi, where the Poalogu area is, are all going to be affected. So it's going to come through Boko. That's where the White Volta is. And once it hits Boko, then definitely it's going to Nabdan. Then from Nabdan, it's going all the way to Tongo area. That is where the Poalogu area is. Before it hits the Northeast region, then to the Northern region.
So this was what the Poalogu multipurpose dam was supposed to serve this purpose, so that when the flood comes, it can harvest the water. So
the Poalogu multipurpose dam project was supposed to be a multipurpose dam. One, to save the water that will come from this spillage and then also be used for hydro purposes. So the hydro purposes was going to serve as energy, but then it will be able to save this water so that this spillage will be a thing of the past, and then also we could use for irrigation purposes. But now that that is not done, the usual thing that we normally see annually is the flood coming in, and farmlands will certainly be displaced. Northeast, northern region will equally be hit.
Where is Kubori in the scheme of things, and why do we have Kubori farmers getting hit immediately now?
So once it enters Ghana, it's going to come through the White Volta. Now, when it gets to the Kubori Bridge area, that's where a lot of people do some farming activities around. And because that area is where the the banks of the bridge area is going to be the entry point into Ghana. So that route is definitely hit. And there are a lot of farming activities on that stretch. People farm rice and other crops on that lane. So they are going to be hit because it's coming into Ghana, it's taking the route, and this is the first entry point. Now, from Kubori going inside towards Burkina Faso, all farmlands along that lane or all residents there must certainly move because that whole place will be hit. Right. Then from Kubori, farmlands in Nabdan, farmlands in Talensi in the Poalogu area will be hit. So it's going all the way down. Remember, in 2020, this particular Kubori area was where there was heavy rain fall within that week. Then the dam also spillage occurred within that same period, and then it took away the road. And you remember the vice president had to go all the way there in a helicopter to really survey the area. So certainly right now we don't know the situation. This morning we are told that the farmlands have been hit. Yeah, certainly they started yesterday. We should expect full effect by Thursday because it takes about 73 hours before it gets to Ghana massively. So we should expect a full effect by Thursday. We are told that already because of the heavy rains, the Kubori area is full. Farmlands are already being submerged. But then, what is going to happen next when the full effect of the dam hits Ghana?
What is going to happen next? Thank you very much. That's my colleague Christopher Kevin Asima. He has been in the Upper East region for a long time. He's given us essentially what we should expect as the Bagre Dam spillage begins. Now, let's stay on issues surrounding food insecurity because the Ministry of Food and Agriculture has expressed shock at a dry spell that has ravaged many farms up north. Now, food insecurity has been projected to worsen in the coming days, with Food Security Monitor reporting a July rate of 5.77% of insufficient food consumption. Many farmers have decried the loss of their crops as their mostly rain-fed farms have been starved of rains for more than a month. Public Relations Officer of the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, Bagbara Tanko, in a Citi News interview, says the drought took the ministry by surprise as it has been collaborating with the Ghana Meteorological Agency.
The ministry over the period has worked closely with the meteorological station, and we do heed to their advices. But like I said, it's a forecast. Most likely it happens, and sometimes it doesn't. But we did not foresee this happening, honestly.
And whose failure is it, yours or theirs?
Well, at this point, I wouldn't want to place the blame at any quarters. All I know is that, rain-fed agriculture is the biggest risk. You can never predict nature to the latter, and therefore these things do take us on our way sometimes.
Well, Babara Tanko also says the ministry is collating data in order to inform the government's interventions going forward.
We are still carrying out the collection of data. So far, we have 8 regions affected. The latest is Upper East and Northern region, who latest to have been, for the past 1.5 months, these areas have been affected by the drought. And the ministry is collating this data that will inform a decision going forward. We all heard the president announce, gave a hint that government will soon announce some interventions to mitigate the drought situation. Certainly, it's going to affect food security. A lot of farms lost completely. Even if it rains today, there's no way we can recover those farms. So it's a hard blow to us as a country, and the ministry is putting data together, and very soon government will be speaking to the farmers.
That's the Public Relations Officer of the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, Babara Tanko. This is the Citi Prime News. Still ahead, farmers at Abrewapong in Asante Akim North outraged as large plantain farms in Jaso Forest Reserve get destroyed by Forestry Commission officials. We have details for you shortly. Please stay.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Imagine a one-stop shopping experience for all things made in Ghana at the This Is Ghana Exhibition 2024. Get ready to explore the remarkable fair to showcase the rich diversity, talent, innovation, and mastery of made in Ghana products and services with the This Is Ghana Exhibition 2024. Now, Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citi FM invites you to immerse yourself in a vibrant showcase of authentic Ghanaian products and services in the biggest trade fair and exhibition for local SMEs, startups, research and manufacturing industries, homegrown businesses, and indigenous corporate bodies that Ghana has ever seen. We shall promote, we shall support, and patronize various Ghanaian products, solutions, and services that are redefining the views on indigenous products and their packaging across all sectors. The date, 31st of August and the 1st of September 2024. The time is 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. each day, and the venue is the Accra Metropolitan Assembly. Call us now on 0205-973-973 for inquiries on how to participate. The This Is Ghana Exhibition 2024 is powered by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citi FM and is proudly sponsored by MTN, Koa Natural, Ghana National Gas Company, Ghana Pay Mobile Money, FIFA Beverages, Ghana Exim Bank, Petroleum Commission Ghana, Global Share Alliance, and Built. Channel 1 TV is live on DSTV, GoTV, and HD+. On DSTV, find us on Channel 363. On GoTV, we're on Channel 117. And on HD+, get us on Channel 108. On a digital TV, run a new search. But take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Channel 1 TV. Channel 1 TV can be accessed on any free-to-air digital box, like the DSTV and HD+ boxes. Channel 1 TV, telling your story, empowering change.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. Let's bring you some other stories. The Ghana Irrigation Development Authority, JIDA, says it currently costs about $40,000 to develop an irrigation scheme for a hectare of farmland. Now, Acting Chief Executive of JIDA, Engineer Richard Opombwatin, tells City News that exploring and rigorously developing irrigation schemes is better to mitigate the threatening drought that has hit parts of the northern regions.
As I speak now, we are rehabilitated via irrigation scheme. We are also expanding phase 3 of the Tamni irrigation scheme. If you put all that we are doing together this year, and also 6 sites at the farm plains economic enclave project, if you put all that we are doing this year, we are doing close to about 5,000 hectares. So if we keep up with this momentum, I'm sure the next 10 years, we'll be able to maybe do about 700,000 hectares.
Well, the 5,000 you're doing, if you finish, if I add it to the 19,000, that's 24,000.
24,000.
That's still below 1% of the irrigation potential.
They're still below. But from what we are estimating, if we scale up our game, we can add about 10,000 hectares.
No problem.
Irrigation is very, very expensive. It's very expensive. You know, when I was speaking, I think last week, I mentioned between 5 million to about 22 million. Just a small down.
5 million CDs per what?
Yeah, just a small F down.
What size?
Just maybe about 400 meters long, about 4 meters high. Just only the embankment.
What I want to understand is you have 1.9 million hectares. Yeah. What is the cost of irrigating a hectare of land? That would help us to make sense of the numbers.
Now it's close to about 40,000 USD.
Acting Chief Executive of JIDA, Engineer Richard Opombwatin, in an interview with City Breakfast Show host Bernard Avle. Let's do some other stories this afternoon. The Asante Achim North Municipal Security Council has stepped in to prevent a potential conflict between Forestry Commission guards and farmers after large plantain farms were destroyed in Abrewapong, a farming community in the Asante Achim North Municipality. The farmers are outraged by the destruction of their plantain farms located within the Jaso Forest Reserve. Now, a portion of this reserve had been allocated to a private developer, EcoPlanet, for an afforestation project. According to the Forestry Commission, EcoPlanet had an agreement with the Abrewapong community that allowed farmers to plant food crops alongside their afforestation efforts. The affected farmers have been speaking to City News.
Now that my farm has been destroyed, I am home with no job to do. Farming was how I provided for my family. I used the food from the farm to feed my family and other relatives. With my farm destroyed, I have no hope for the future.
I recently worked on my 10-acre plantain farm, but it was destroyed. When I went to the farm on Monday, I was informed that it had been destroyed while I was working on another farm on Wednesday. It was difficult to control myself. Everything on my farm was destroyed. That farm was my only source of income, and I relied on it to take care of my children. It is very difficult for me now.
You heard some farmers in Asante Achim North in the Ashanti region. Well, in response to the rising tensions, the Asante Achim North Municipal Security Council met with the leadership of the farmers, and now the council immediately called for a halt to any further destruction of the plantain farms. Here's the MC for the area, Francis Oti Poatin.
We met the officers, we met Forestry Division, their director this morning, and we met the chief of Abrewapong, and we have taken a decision that until we finalize all negotiations, there shouldn't be any destruction of farm products. And we are also advise them that should in case they have to do any destruction, they have to inform MUSEC before they can do that. And I think this has been solved and they all accepted it in good faith. There was an issue, a confrontation between the forest guards and the police, which was very unpleasant, and we have advised both of them that this thing cannot happen because the forest guard, they don't understand why the police should come to the forest reserve. They said it's a no-go area, which we told them that they can't do that. The police has a jurisdiction. Every place in the municipality, the police in this municipality can go there. So we also are able to solve that problem, and I think everything is successful.
Francis Oti Boateng is the Municipal Chief Executive for Asante Achim North in the Ashanti region. Now let's bring you some stories on the voter exhibition exercise, and day one of the exercise is recording low turnout at several polling stations in Accra. The exercise, which began today, is scheduled to run till August 27, 2024. A visit by Citi News to various polling stations in the Korle-Klottey constituency revealed that fewer than 20 people had checked their details. Or the Electoral Commission has stated that during this period, registered voters can request the inclusion of omitted names, object to entries on the register, and also remove names of deceased individuals, among others. An exhibition officer at the YMCA polling center in the Korle-Klottey constituency, Emmanuel Akwa, has been speaking to Citi News.
So far, everything is fine, but since they are not coming, so it looks so boring. Yeah, I came here in the morning around 6:40, and then only 4 people come to check their names. And I think it's early in the morning though, so I'm expecting like 50 people to come and check. And then I think afternoon time, those working will get some break and then come and check. And then around 2 to 3, the students to maybe close, and then those who are registered voters will come and check their names. So I'm expecting like 50 people. But for now, it's boring. Only 4 people for about 4 hours ago.
Would you say it's just the normalcy with first time first day exhibition that people do not come by, subsequent days they should be?
Okay, sure. I think the first day too counts, but you see, in recent years too, people find it difficult to come because they know their names are there, and then they started voting since. And then whenever they go to the polling station, they find their name in the register, and then they are able to vote.
You had an exhibition officer at the YMCA polling center in the Korle-Klottey constituency, Emmanuel Akwa, speaking to my colleague Kennedy Chumesi. Let's move on now. Several students from Asin Insuta Agricultural Senior High School in the central region have sustained injuries, with 5 currently hospitalized following a violent clash between Form 2 and Form 3 students on campus. The assemblyman for Asin Insuta Bepokoko electoral area, Kwame Amankra Bashiru, explained that the conflict erupted due to an alleged sexual encounter between a Form 3 student and a Form 1 student in an uncompleted building on campus. Here's Assemblyman speaking to the media about the issue.
Said the school why ni di adanse se basabasa esi wo ho nnua we da ha boba blocks ni ade ye bubububu apetepete ho bebre nti me koye na master no wane nkora no wo assembly grounds a wo address wo mu na ja me koye me so me koye said the unity.
I was informed about the incident and quickly rushed to the school. I observed that the entire campus was in a mess with property damaged. I understand that 2 students were involved in a relationship, a Form 3 student and a Form 1 student. A Form 2 student chanced upon the 2, getting intimate and tried to stop them. The Form 3 student, angered by the interruption, slapped the Form 2 student. The Form 2 student retaliated, leading to a free-for-all fight, which resulted in 5 students being hospitalized, while several others sustained minor injuries. The assistant headmaster in charge of administration also sustained injuries. The headmaster took some students to the police station to obtain medical forms for hospital treatment. It took the intervention of the police to bring the situation under control.
So that's the assemblyman for Asin Insuta Bepokoko electoral area, Kwame Amankra Bashiru, speaking to the media. President Akufo-Addo has labelled the controversy surrounding the sale of SNIT hotels as unnecessary. Speaking at the 12th Quadrennial Delegates Conference of the Trades Union Congress, the president urged Ghanaians to be mindful of their statements regarding SNIT assets. He highlighted that the Social Security and National Insurance Trust is diligently working to generate profits while expanding its operations.
Taking out the improved performance of SNIT, which recently announced a surplus of 230 million cedis on its operations. This should be reassuring to organized labor and perhaps bring into sharper relief the unnecessary controversy that was recently generated by SNIT's efforts to offload non-performing assets in its hotel portfolio. It is my understanding that the transaction that was aborted represented the only occasion in recent history of SNIT that external investors sought to invest in SNIT's holdings.
President Akufo-Addo. Now, before we go, spokesperson for Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia campaign, Dr. Gideon Buaku, says Ghanaians have better prospects with the NPP. The party's recently launched manifesto promises job creation, import duty harmonization, and improved road infrastructure through public-private partnerships. Despite the NDC's criticisms calling on the manifesto empty and rash, Dr. Gideon Buaku maintains that the NPP has performed better than its predecessor, emphasizing the party's commitment to these goals.
We have made honey and milk flow into the mouth of Ghanaians. But we can beat our hands to our chest that the alternative to us is none and nothing but the NPP, because our record is far above and superior to the record of any other government that we have seen since 1992. And so if an election is about making a choice to ensure that you have economic emancipation, you have improvement in your life, and you see development, we know we have brought development to Ghana.
Dr. Gideon Buaku is spokesperson for the NPP flag bearer, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. And that does it for today's edition of the Citi Prime News, which has been live from our studio in Adabraka, Accra. Log on to citinewsroom.com for more stories. My name is Adjoatin Kromadumna. Thank you for your company. Good afternoon.
Citi News, we speak first. Reach our hotline on 0302 224959 and get interactive on Facebook, Citi 97.3 FM, and on Twitter at Citi 973.